You don't have to be drinking every day to find yourself asking, am I drinking too much? So you could be doing all the things. You could be killing it at work, taking care of the family, going to yoga, taking those vacations, and doing it all, externally looking like a rock star, but internally slowly dying because you're not happy and you're starting to feel the effects of alcohol. I remember, I want to say years ago, but it's decades ago, when I realized that I probably shouldn't be drinking. And I wasn't drinking every day at that point. It did escalate to that because at some point alcohol got its hold on me, and every time I tried to quit, and I did try to quit numerous times, hundreds and hundreds of times, I just kept going back because I romanticized it. So if you're finding yourself not drinking more than your neighbor or your best friend, and you feel like, well, I don't think I drink that much, but I feel like it's a problem, well, stick around, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to break it down. If this topic resonates with you, please subscribe, click like, and share it with a friend. It really helps my videos get out to other people. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to work with women, especially midlife women, who are struggling. And they could be struggling from addiction. And it might not be alcohol. That's what I'm going to talk about because that's my thing. But it could be other things that you're addicted to that you're using to numb. So stick around, and I want to have that conversation with you. So let's talk about how it all begins. It's subtle. It creeps in. In your 20s, you might be having drinks on the weekends with your friends. And in your 30s, it might be drinking 2 or 3 times a week, having a glass of wine with your partner or out at dinner. And then in your 40s, you all of a sudden find yourself opening up that bottle of wine or whatever it is you drink every night, after work, during supper. And then the next thing you know, you're starting to look at that bottle of wine that you're opening up, because it's become a habit, as something that's become also a problem. That's called gray area drinking. And gray area drinking can eventually lead to something a lot worse. And before it gets that bad, if you're watching this video, it means you're searching. And so the algorithm pointed you in my direction. And there's no shame here. There's no blame. There's no judgment. It's just an honest conversation about what happens with alcohol. Alcohol is not like cocaine. It's a slow drip of death. And here's where it gets interesting. The why behind your drinking can be a game changer. Are you drinking to socialize? And have you always drank to socialize? Or are you drinking to numb? And are you drinking to numb because of childhood trauma? Because of some other type of trauma? Or your busy life, anxiety, stress, overwhelm, all of these things? Lady, the world we're living in right now is absolutely out of control. We're just go, 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 go all the time. And having that glass of wine or bottle, because that was me every day, that bottle of wine was what helped me shut it off. So if that's you, again, no blame, no shame, no judgment. We're here to find out what to do about it and what are your next steps. So if you're a social drinker, you may actually stay a social drinker for the rest of your life. You may never become addicted to alcohol. Let's get this straight though. Alcohol is an addictive substance. But you may never become addicted to alcohol. Not everybody becomes addicted to alcohol. But if you're drinking to numb, not only will you become addicted to alcohol and have a hard time letting it go at some point in your life, it will happen faster than it will if you become addicted any other way. It it's rapid. It speeds up the addiction journey, and that is what's happening in your brain. And let's talk about that. But first, let's talk about how it ramps up. First, it creeps in. It's just a few drinks, nothing major, out with friends. Maybe it's just on the weekend. Then all of a sudden you add Thursday. And if you're going to drink on Thursday, well, then you're going to drink on Friday, and then you're going to drink on Saturday, and then of course you're going to have a few drinks on Sunday with Sunday dinner. And then it's every day. And then it's every day having 2 or 3 drinks. Then it's every day a bottle of wine. And maybe on the weekends, it's more than a bottle of wine a day. It happens slowly over time. And let that sink in. It happens slowly over time. You didn't just wake up one day and go, oh my God, what's going on? It's been in the back of your mind. Am I drinking too much? No, I'm not drinking too much. I'm not drinking any more than anybody else I'm hanging out with. Well, question whether or not you're hanging around with all drinkers, and actually start looking around the room, because I bet you there's other people in the room at those parties that are not drinking. You know, we have confirmation bias that happens. If we want to believe something, then we'll look in that direction. So be honest with yourself. Don't be judgy. Be honest with yourself. Your brain starts to think, it's that lizard brain back there, starts to think you need that alcohol every day to survive, to live. And it will be loud. Those gremlins in your head telling you to take that drink, it gets loud, very, very loud. And then what starts to happen? Let's talk about that. So maybe you're watching this video and you're thinking, well, you know, I still don't think I have a problem. Okay, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you that you have a problem. I'm doing these videos because I hope that I can help at least one person figure out what the hell is going on in their life and why they feel out of control sometimes, even though nobody else may realize that's what's happening. So you have to be honest with yourself. I had to be honest with myself. And it took me decades to finally let alcohol go. So don't be ashamed. Like, let go of that shame and judgment. And realize you're not the only one out there. There are thousands and tens of thousands of other women, especially midlife women out there, drinking bottles of wine every day. And how did we get here? We got here because alcohol is a slow drip. It creeps in. It's sneaky. Alcoholism, addiction doesn't happen overnight. It's not like cocaine or other types of addictions. So ask yourself, if I didn't drink for 2 weeks, 14 days, how would I feel? Would I miss it? Would I get itchy? Will I be wondering, can I do this? If I set boundaries, no drinks before 7 p.m., only drink on the weekends, and then don't follow through, I've done that a million times. Oh my God, I could give you probably a book full of different rules and regulations I gave myself so that I wouldn't drink any more than maybe 1 day a week. None of it worked because you're constantly obsessed about when do I get to have my next drink. So if you find any of this is resonating, again, please subscribe, click like, and share this because it might help somebody else. So if this is still resonating with you, if you're still watching this video, which I hope you are, then what do you do next? What can you do to make some changes? I would say get curious. Be honest with yourself. Take a 2-week break. See how you feel. Journal it out. I'm the journaling queen. I sell the Breathe mental health journal. Journal it every day. How am I feeling? What's going on inside? What are the gremlins saying? How uncomfortable is this? Talk to somebody about this. Someone who trusts you, who you trust, and someone who gets it. Don't talk to someone who doesn't understand addiction. They may smile and go, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're going to feel judged. Talk to someone who gets it. Go to a meeting. I'm not saying you need AA. I'm definitely not saying that. Different programs work for different people. There are lots of groups out there. There are lots of people. There's an abundance of support online that you can find if you start Googling, am I a gray area drinker? Am I an alcoholic? Do I even need to label myself? But put those steps in place. Challenge yourself and see how you feel after 14 days. And I'm here to tell you that if you do quit drinking, if you make the decision and you quit drinking and that's it, your social life does not die. Look around you. There's more and more places opening up. There's bars opening up that are dry, that serve non-alcoholic beverages. There is a trend happening. More and more people are waking up to what alcohol is doing to you because there's no safe amount. I don't want to demonize alcohol, but I also don't want to pretend that I don't know that it's poison. And here's the part that I wish every woman knew about gray area drinking. It's where a lot of midlife women live for years. They have gone from being a social drinker to drinking every single day, and many of them, I've talked to hundreds of different women, I've belonged to different groups, and they're drinking a bottle a day minimum. I know that sounds like a lot if you don't have a drinking problem, but it's normal for people who are in a gray area drinking place. They still might be functioning on the outside but dying inside. But you can change that, and you can change that today. So I hope this video resonated with you, and I hope you're ready and you're willing to make that change. Take 2 weeks off. See how you feel. And if you want to continue this conversation, DM me. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear your comments, whether you agree, disagree, any pointers for people that I haven't mentioned, because I've just barely touched the surface. So please share in the comments so that we can continue this conversation, because you're not alone. There's tens of thousands of women out there in midlife who are struggling, who shouldn't be struggling with alcohol abuse or any other addiction. You should be working on living the life of your dreams. So once again, please subscribe, click like, and share this. I'm doing these YouTube videos to help other women my age, maybe a little younger, older, but I'm doing this because I believe that I have a story and you have a story, and maybe we can share our stories together. Until next time.